Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is my second video on the channel now. I'm aware this is actually 2 weeks after my first video, but I'm hoping that after a while I will get into a regular routine of posting videos once I've kind of got my head around the whole YouTube thing, because to be honest it is a lot harder and it's a lot more effort than, yeah, like I said in the previous video, just posting like an Instagram reel or a TikTok. But this is something I have wanted to do for a while, so I am committing to it. So firstly, if you're new here, hi, my name is Poppy, I'm 22 years old and I'm another fitness obsessed girly, specifically running. I absolutely love running. My journey hasn't been straightforward with fitness, and I've had my fair share of struggles with eating disorders and my relationship with food and exercise. However, in the last few years I have literally flourished, and honestly I think fitness has a huge part to play in that, and it's really helped me to find a passion in a healthier way. I've been posting a lot on Instagram for the last maybe 2 years, and if you want to go check out a bit more about that, then my Instagram is popsexfitness, and you can see a lot more of my content over there and kind of what to expect over here on YouTube. But please do like and subscribe to this video. And yeah, so I thought today, whilst I'm out on a walk, I could make a video talking about something that's pretty relevant to me right now. That is navigating injuries as someone that loves to run and loves fitness, and kind of what you can do to manage it, because it is a really difficult thing if you're into fitness, not being able to do the thing that you love the most. If you're anything like me, running is your therapy, your happiness, and honestly pretty much the thing that keeps you sane, because that's how it is for me. Like I said, fitness has obviously been such a healer for me in my journey, and yeah, it's the thing that I sort of rely on at times, which I know isn't always good, but it's the thing that I've found that really helps me and supports my mental health, really. We're human, injuries are going to happen, and I think it's important to figure out ways that you can manage it and what you can do to kind of make it a bit better, a bit of an easier journey. So for context, I'm currently suffering with a flare-up in my left hip. This is an injury that I had last October, and unfortunately after I did a half marathon, I think it'll be 3 weeks ago on Sunday, I did have a bit of a hip flare up. So the last 3 weeks have been kind of a lot more cross training and not really any running at all, which has been really hard to manage, as you can well imagine. So I thought I would make this video to sort of share the ways I'm dealing with it. I have had injuries in the past. Like I said, this hip injury was something I experienced last October as well, and I have had a stress fracture in my foot, which was January 2024. So I've definitely had my fair share of injuries. I've learned of ways in which I can manage them. However, the hardest thing for me this time around is that I was meant to be doing the Brighton Marathon this Sunday, and unfortunately, whilst my injury is a lot better than it was when I finished the half marathon I did 3 weeks ago, I'm still not in a position where, I don't know, okay to run a marathon. Like, that's a long distance. That's been like probably the hardest thing, because I have literally done all of the training for the marathon. I did all of my peak weeks and did my long runs, and I trained up to 35 kilometers and was about to start my taper before this all happened. So obviously it's not ideal and it's not fun, but it is what it is, and we've kind of had to just deal with it. Even though I'm not doing Brighton Marathon on Sunday, I think something that's really helped me is the fact that I've booked another marathon for October. So in October I'm going to be doing the Yorkshire Marathon, which has really helped me to come to terms with the fact that I am injured right now and I can't do Brighton, but there is another goal and something to work towards in the near future. So my training's not all wasted, and I've still had some really good runs in training, so yeah, I think that's important as well. I just want to put out there, if you are injured, like, it's okay to feel really rubbish about it, because yeah, like, I always feel guilty because I'm like, well, there's a lot of other things going on in the world, there's a lot worse, but also at the same time I think it's important to remember that that doesn't take away the struggles that you're facing, and it's okay to feel a bit down about it, and yeah, because it is rubbish at the end of the day. But there are things you can do and you can't let it get you down for too long. You've just got to focus on the things I'm about to talk about, and I hope this can help you to navigate it as well. So my first and biggest piece of advice is to reshift your mindset and focus on what you can do rather than what you can't, because it's really easy to get caught up in like, I can't run, but actually there's a lot of things you can do. Like for me, cross training, that has been a real help in not only keeping my fitness up and, you know, keeping that base, like that training base and the foundation, but also giving me another focus and still being able to replicate what I would be doing when I'm running, but on the cross trainer, on the bike, etc. Little disclaimer, like, you don't have to cross train, you can just rest. Like, your body is going to be very grateful if you just rest completely, and you don't need to be cross training or maintaining your fitness if you like don't want to. You're allowed to just rest and let it heal and then rebuild your fitness after when you're recovered from your injury. So yeah, focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't is definitely a key in helping you through this journey, because it's not an easy one, like I've said many times in this video already. Next thing I would really say you need to really think about is maybe use this as an opportunity to evaluate your training. Were you doing too much? What could have caused the injury? Because this is going to help you going forward and prevent injuries happening again in the future. For me, obviously, this is a recurring injury. Like, I've had this injury before, so I've had to really think about it, and I think it was just the sort of increase in volume and mileage that kind of re-triggered this injury to happen. Obviously, I was training for a marathon, and that does take its toll on the body. Like, it's a lot of training. So yeah, I think that was just something that I had the goal of training for the marathon, and it just kind of happened because my body was just like, hold up, Hans, you're doing a lot, like, and then yeah, just fatigue set in, and yeah, ended up injured again. Yeah, I think sometimes it takes an injury to make you realise that maybe you're not resting enough, you're doing too much, and all of that. Another thing along the lines of kind of focusing on what you can do and reshifting your mindset is what can you do to rebuild? So how are you going to approach returning to running? Are there any exercises that you can do to sort of rehab your injury? And I will just say, please do seek professional help, because I'm not a physio or anything, but going to a physio can also give you a lot of answers about what direction to kind of go in next. I think it's a really uncertain time, and you're like, what can I do? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? Kind of thing. The next piece of advice is something that I really have to be mindful of when I'm injured, and when I'm training, like either way, is nutrition. I think this is really common for you to think that, like, if I can't run, if I can't train the same way, then I don't need to eat as much, or should fuel differently, I don't need as many carbs. If there's one thing I'll say, it's to not cut back on nutrition. Your body needs the fuel to repair. Just because you're not doing the same volume of training, or your training looks a bit different, doesn't mean you don't need to fuel yourself properly. You're injured, your body needs fuel. It needs calcium to support your bones, to give you more energy, and to help it heal so you can get back to training the way you want to. It's so bumpy where I'm walking right now, I'm literally like gonna fall over. Hurt my other hip soon. No, that's not funny. An important question that you could probably ask yourself is, were you fueling enough? Or was this something you were lacking that caused you to become injured? Obviously, if you don't know already, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't probably know, but due to my history with eating disorders, I'm currently on a journey to get my period back. The reason I wanted to bring that up was because this has happened because of a result of not fueling my body enough and being in an energy deficit. This is what increases my risk at becoming injured, and honestly I cannot stress enough the importance of kind of fueling yourself properly so that you don't become in this situation. It's not normal to not have a healthy period. Your body is obviously not functioning properly, and that is going to increase your risk of injuries because your body hasn't got enough energy to fully support you and function optimally. So yeah, I guess those are my top tips on navigating an injury, kind of understanding why you got injured and what you can do to support your recovery and get back to running. For me, it's been about 3 weeks now of not running. Well, 2.5. It'll be 3 weeks on Sunday. My hip is feeling a lot better. Like I said, I had this injury before last year and it took a lot longer to heal than it has this time round. And it might be because I caught it earlier, like I kind of noticed it earlier because I was conscious of it, because I had it before. But another thing that it might be is because I have been fueling myself better, getting adequate nutrition, making sure I'm getting enough carbs, fats, proteins, all of it, which I probably think has helped my recovery and yeah, made the whole healing process a lot quicker. With that being said, like, I'm not out of the woods yet. As I say that, every day I am inching a lot closer to getting back to running. Yeah, we're doing a lot better. But I wanted to make this video to kind of show you the reality of it and what you can do. And I hope that this can help some of you if you are going through an injury or when you do, because injuries happen to all of us, like it's gonna happen. And I think if you've got the knowledge and the support to kind of get through it, it really helps. So yeah, that's why I wanted to make this video. Please like this video, subscribe. Yeah, look after yourself guys, and I'll see you in the next video. See you later.